You're not at the mercy of circumstances, you are the creator of them. The key to mastering your life lies not in what you see, but in how deeply you feel. What you feel within is the unseen force that governs everything you experience. Now, let me ask you this. How do you feel right now? Is it the feeling of lack, of waiting, of striving, or is it the feeling of having already received what you've asked for? This feeling, this inner state of being is not passive. It's the most powerful force you have. And today I will show you how to use it. Feeling is not a fleeting emotion. It is the secret gateway to your desired reality. Whatever you feel, consistently, deeply, and with belief, you are attracting into your life. What you think and feel about yourself, about your circumstances, about your future, it all unfolds and shapes itself into the material world. So I ask again, how do you feel? Do you feel the joy of having what you desire? Do you feel the peace of already being the person you wish to become? If you can feel it, you can have it. And I will teach you how to feel it, not just as a passing thought, but as the living, breathing truth of your existence. Feeling is the secret gateway. You've heard it before. What you feel, you attract. But let's pause for a moment and truly absorb the depth of this statement. Feeling is not a passive experience. It is not something that happens to you. Rather, it is the most powerful creative force within you. You might think that your circumstances, your environment, or the people around you dictate how you feel. But in truth, it's the opposite. How you feel dictates your circumstances, environment, and the people you encounter. Everything begins with feeling. When you deeply feel something, it doesn't just pass away like a fleeting emotion. It becomes an imprint on your subconscious mind, a magnetic force that pulls your outer world into alignment with that inner state. The feeling you cultivate is the blueprint, and the outer world is merely the manifestation of that blueprint. In essence, the way you feel is the gateway to everything you desire, and it's through this gateway that all possibilities flow. Consider the feeling of having what you want. It's not just about thinking about your desires, nor is it simply about imagining them. Feeling the reality of your desires as though they have already come to pass is what initiates the process of their manifestation. You might visualize a beautiful, successful life, but it's only when you truly feel as though you are living it right now, when the emotional charge of that experience resonates through your being, that the world around you begins to shift to match that inner state. Feeling is the missing ingredient in most approaches to success and manifestation. People often focus on the intellectual aspects of their desires, what they need to do, who they need to become, but without feeling it first, all of that effort is futile. Without the feeling, the outer world cannot reflect the internal state you wish to create. Imagine you want success, but you're constantly feeling anxious or unworthy of it. Your inner feeling is in direct conflict with your desire. That's why feeling is the gateway. It allows your subconscious to accept what you desire as already real, making it easier for the external world to conform to your inner state. But here's the key. The feeling must be persistent. You cannot just briefly feel something and expect it to materialize. You must dwell in that feeling as though it is already your truth, regardless of external circumstances. If you feel as though you are already the person who has achieved their dreams, if you live from the end as though your desires are already realized, your reality will inevitably adjust to reflect that assumption. The more consistent you are in maintaining that feeling, the quicker the outer world catches up. But if you feel doubt or insecurity, you will also attract experiences that reflect those emotions. So the practice is simple yet profound. Cultivate the feeling of having what you desire right now. Live in that state daily. even when the outer world tries to tell you otherwise. Feel it with every fiber of your being as though it is happening to you in this very moment. This is not an act of pretending. This is the act of aligning with a higher, more powerful truth, one where the feeling of success, love, peace, or abundance is already yours. Through feeling, you unlock the doorway to a life that is waiting for you to step into it. And once you walk through that gateway, nothing can stop you from manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. Your feelings are not just a reflection of your current state, they are the architects of your future. So ask yourself, what will you choose to feel today? Feeling is the secret gateway. You've heard it before. What you feel, you attract. But let's pause for a moment and truly absorb the depth of this statement. Feeling is not a passive experience. It is not something that happens to you. Rather, it is the most powerful, creative force within you. You might think that your circumstances, your environment, or the people around you dictate how you feel. But in truth, it's the opposite. How you feel dictates your circumstances, environment, and the people you encounter. Everything begins with feeling. When you deeply feel something, it doesn't just pass away like a fleeting emotion. It becomes an imprint on your subconscious mind, a magnetic force that pulls your outer world into alignment with that inner state. The feeling you cultivate is the blueprint, and the outer world is merely the manifestation of that blueprint. In essence, the way you feel is the gateway to everything you desire, and it's through this gateway that all possibilities flow. Consider the feeling of having what you want. It's not just about thinking about your desires, nor is it simply about imagining them. Feeling the reality of your desires as though they have already come to pass is what initiates the process of their manifestation. You might visualize a beautiful, successful life, but it's only when you truly feel as though you are living it right now, when the emotional charge of that experience resonates through your being, that the world around you begins to shift to match that inner state. Feeling is the missing ingredient in most approaches to success and manifestation. People often focus on the intellectual aspects of their desires, what they need to do, who they need to become. But without feeling it first, all of that effort is futile. But without the feeling, the outer world cannot reflect the internal state you wish to create. Imagine you want success, but you're constantly feeling anxious or unworthy of it. Your inner feeling is in direct conflict with your desire. That's why feeling is the gateway. It allows your subconscious to accept what you desire as already real, making it easier for the external world to conform to your inner state. But here's the key. The feeling must be persistent. You cannot just briefly feel something and expect it to materialize. You must dwell in that feeling as though it is already your truth, regardless of external circumstances. If you feel as though you are already the person who has achieved their dreams, if you live from the end as though your desires are already realized, your reality will inevitably adjust to reflect that assumption. The more consistent you are in maintaining that feeling, the quicker the outer world catches up. But if you feel doubt or insecurity, you will also attract experiences that reflect those emotions. So the practice is simple yet profound. Cultivate the feeling of having what you desire right now. Live in that state daily, even when the outer world tries to tell you otherwise. Feel it with every fiber of your being as though it is happening to you in this very moment. This is not an act of pretending. This is the act of aligning with a higher, more powerful truth. One where the feeling of success, love, peace, or abundance is already yours. Through feeling, you unlock the doorway to a life that is waiting for you to step into it. And once you walk through that gateway, nothing can stop you from manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. Your feelings are not just a reflection of your current state, they are the architects of your future. So ask yourself, what will you choose to feel today? Aside from the The secret to unlocking the life you desire is not in waiting for the right conditions or hoping for the right time to arrive. It is in living from the end as though your desires are already fulfilled. This principle is the cornerstone of manifestation. You do not need to wait for the world to change. You must change how you live within the world. When you live from the end, you step into your desired reality as though it is already yours. You stop striving for it and start embodying it. And in that embodiment, you make it real. What does it mean to live from the end? It means to assume that the future you are seeking is already a present reality. It means to live, think, and act in a way that reflects the state of having already achieved your desires. So often, we approach life from a place of lack or longing, believing that what we want is out of reach, something to be acquired in the future. But the truth is, the future is simply a projection of what you believe in the present. If you continuously look for the missing pieces, believing they are somewhere ahead of you, you will always find yourself waiting. But if you start living as though those pieces are already in place, the universe has no choice but to reflect that inner truth. Living from the end is a shift in perspective. It is a choice to feel the emotions of success, love, abundance, or peace now as if these things are already part of your life. Imagine the joy you would feel if your desires were already fulfilled. Imagine waking up in the life you want, surrounded by the people you love, doing the work that excites you, and experiencing the freedom you crave. This isn't a fantasy. This is how you begin the process of manifestation. By assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you align yourself with the vibration of your desired outcome. Many people make the mistake of waiting for external events to change before they feel the way they want to feel. They believe that when their circumstances improve, when they have more money, when they find the perfect relationship, when they achieve their goals, then and only then will they feel successful, happy, or at peace. But this is backwards. The key is to feel those emotions before the external changes take place. By feeling them first, you send a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready to receive what you desire. The world then adjusts to match that signal. It's important to understand that living from the end doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel something that doesn't come naturally. It means allowing yourself to embody the state of already having what you want. If you truly believe that you already have it, if you feel it in every cell of your body, then your actions, thoughts, and decisions will reflect that reality. The universe doesn't respond to your neediness or desperation. It responds to the energy of fulfillment, to the certainty that what you desire is already yours. This practice requires you to step out of the role of the seeker and into the role of the person who already possesses their desires. It requires trust that the universe will reflect back to you the state you hold within. When you live from the end, you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your reality, and your reality is shaped by the assumptions and beliefs you hold in the present moment. To start today, live from the end. Act as if your dream life is already here. Feel the joy, the peace, the success of having what you desire. Walk through life as though you are already the person you want to become. You do not need to wait for the future. The future is already in you, waiting to be brought into the present. And as you live from the end, you will watch the world around you shift to reflect the reality you have already assumed. Inner conversations shape the world. Your inner conversations, the silent dialogue you have with yourself, are far more powerful than most people realize. Every word you speak to yourself, every thought you entertain, and every assumption you make forms the foundation of your reality. These inner conversations are not just idle thoughts. They are creative acts that shape the circumstances of your life. The world around you is constantly responding to your inner state, and your thoughts and self-talk are the blueprint that the universe uses to bring your external world into alignment with your inner world. It's easy to dismiss the importance of inner conversations. After all, we all think and talk to ourselves every day. But the truth is, the things you say to yourself, consciously or subconsciously, are directly influencing what you experience. Consider the words you speak when you are alone, the way you describe yourself, and the way you interpret the events in your life. If your inner conversations are full of self-doubt, fear, and negativity, the outer world will reflect that state. You'll attract circumstances, people, and situations that mirror these inner beliefs. On the other hand, when your inner dialogue is filled with positivity, self-assurance, and belief in your own abilities, your reality will shift accordingly. This idea can be traced back to the simple yet profound law of assumption. What you assume to be true about yourself and your world becomes your reality. Your inner conversations, whether conscious or subconscious, are simply the outward expression of these assumptions. When you constantly affirm to yourself that you are not good enough, that success is out of reach, or that you will always be stuck in your current circumstances, you are assuming those things as your reality. These assumptions become ingrained in your mind, influencing your actions, choices, and perceptions, ultimately creating the very conditions you fear or dislike. But the reverse is equally true. If you begin to change your inner conversations, if you start affirming that you are worthy, that success is already yours, that you are capable of achieving your dreams, you begin to shift your entire life. Your inner state of being directly influences the outer world, because the world reflects back to you what you believe. When you begin to consciously shift your thoughts and words to align with what you want to experience, you create a new reality, one that mirrors the inner conversation you have about yourself and the world around you. Think for a moment about the conversations you have with yourself. Are they filled with self-criticism and doubt? Are you constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, or that things will never work out? Or are you speaking to yourself with encouragement, love, and belief in your potential? If your inner dialogue is filled with negativity, it is time to stop and reassess. Recognize that your thoughts and words are shaping your future. You cannot expect to create a positive, successful, or abundant life while continually speaking to yourself in a way that reinforces fear, lack, and limitation. The key to changing your reality is to begin cultivating new inner conversations, conversations that are aligned with the life you desire to create. Start by catching yourself when you slip into negative self-talk. Pay attention to the things you say about yourself, your circumstances, and your future. Whenever you notice that your inner conversation is steering you away from your desires, gently guide it back to a place of positivity and belief. Replace thoughts of lack with thoughts of abundance. Replace thoughts of unworthiness with thoughts of self-worth. Begin speaking to yourself as though you are already the person you want to become. One powerful technique for transforming your inner conversation is to speak in the present tense as though the thing you desire is already true. For example, if you desire financial abundance, instead of saying, "I hope to have more money," change it to, "I am abundant and money flows to me easily and effortlessly." If you want to experience more love in your life, stop thinking, "I wish I could find someone to love me," and start thinking, "I am deserving of love, and love flows to me naturally." This subtle shift in language and mindset is a game changer. The present tense affirms that what you desire is already yours. It tells your subconscious mind that your wish has already been fulfilled. Another important aspect of inner conversations is the story you tell about your life. Many people walk around telling a story of struggle, hardship, and defeat. They speak about their past, their challenges, and their limitations as if these things define them. But the past does not have to dictate your future. The story you tell about yourself is just that, a story. And you have the power to change it. By shifting the narrative you tell in your inner conversations, you can begin to reshape your entire reality. If your story has been one of failure and limitation, start telling a new story, one of triumph, success, and possibility. This process requires consistency. Just as you wouldn't expect to build muscle after a single workout, you cannot expect to change your life with one positive thought or affirmation. Your inner conversations must be a daily practice. You must consistently speak to yourself in a way that reflects the reality you wish to create. Over time, your subconscious mind will absorb these new beliefs and assumptions, and your outer world will begin to reflect them. It's important to remember that your inner conversations are not just about words. They are about the energy and emotion behind those words. Simply repeating positive affirmations without belief or feeling will not create lasting change. The key is to speak with conviction, feeling, and a firm belief that what you are saying is true. When your inner conversations align with the emotions of having your desires already fulfilled, your reality will shift to reflect that new state of being. The truth is, your reality is a reflection of what you believe about yourself and the world, and your inner conversations are the most powerful tool you have to change those beliefs. Begin today by consciously choosing the words you speak to yourself. Choose words that inspire, empower, and elevate you. Your inner dialogue has the power to shape your world. Use it wisely. Persistence makes it flesh. There is a powerful, undeniable truth in life. Persistence is the force that turns dreams into reality. When you persist in your assumptions, beliefs, and feelings, no matter what the external world tells you, you are creating the conditions necessary for your desires to manifest. The universe does not respond to mere wishful thinking. It responds to the consistent, unwavering belief in your desires. It is persistence that bridges the gap between your inner vision and its physical manifestation. The key to understanding this is to recognize that the world around you is constantly shifting in response to your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions. The process of manifestation doesn't happen instantaneously, and it rarely follows a straight path. There are times when you will encounter doubt, setbacks, or even moments of seeming failure. But these are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are simply part of the unfolding process. The real measure of your power is not in how quickly your desires appear, but in your willingness to stay true to your vision, regardless of what the external world shows you in the moment. When you persist in assuming the reality of your desire, you are reinforcing a new state of being. This state of being is not just a fleeting thought or wish. It is a deeply held belief that your desire is already realized and the external world is merely catching up with your inner world. The persistence is the key to solidifying this belief in your subconscious mind. The longer you persist, the more deeply ingrained the assumption becomes, until it is a part of your very nature. Think about it this way. When you start a new project, whether it's learning a new skill, building a business, or pursuing a goal, there's a period of time where results aren't immediately visible. The beginning stages can feel uncertain, and you may even question whether what you're doing will work. However, the more you continue, the more momentum you gain. Eventually, the results start to show up, perhaps in small ways at first, but as you continue to act with faith and persistence, the outcome becomes inevitable. The same applies to your desires. In the early stages of manifestation, you may not see the evidence of your dreams coming true, but by continuing to persist in the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled, you are gradually bringing them into existence. The world is built on persistence. Every major achievement, every discovery, every success story has its roots in persistence. Those who achieve greatness are not those who give up when the going gets tough, but those who continue to believe, continue to feel, and continue to act as though their goals are already a reality. This is why persistence is so powerful. It signals to the universe that you are committed to your vision, that you will not back down no matter the challenges. The universe, in turn, responds by aligning the external circumstances to match your internal state of certainty. When you persist in your assumption, you are not forcing the universe to bend to your will. Rather, you are aligning with the natural flow of creation. The universe operates in cycles, in rhythms, and your persistent assumption aligns you with those rhythms. Your persistent belief becomes like a magnet that draws the right opportunities, people, and events into your life. This is why persistence is so much more than just sticking with it. It is an active force that sets in motion the invisible threads of creation, pulling your desires closer to you each day. One important aspect of persistence is the necessity to maintain your belief even when things appear to be going wrong. This is where many people falter. They begin to doubt the process when external circumstances don't immediately reflect their desires. But if you abandon your belief at the first sign of resistance, you stop the process from fully unfolding. True persistence means remaining unwavering in your assumptions, regardless of temporary setbacks or delays. When you hold firm to the belief that your desires are already yours, you demonstrate that you are not dependent on external conditions. You know that your vision will become reality because you've already assumed it to be so. A key to successful persistence is maintaining an emotional connection to your desire. It is not enough to merely say, I am wealthy or I am successful, if you do not feel the truth of those statements deep in your being. The persistence that brings results is rooted in an emotional alignment with the vision you are holding. When you feel the reality of your desires, it is this emotional connection that strengthens your persistence. Feel the joy, the peace, and the fulfillment of already having what you want. The emotional charge you bring to your persistence fuels the process, propelling it forward. There will always be moments of doubt. There will always be challenges. The key is to recognize these as natural parts of the process rather than obstacles. The universe will never give you something that you are not ready to receive, but you must continue to persist. Continue to feel your desires as though they are already true, and continue to live as if your vision has already materialized. This persistence will eventually make the unseen visible. Persistence also involves patience. It is not the kind of patience where you sit idly by and wait for something to happen. It is the kind of patience where you continue to act, to believe, and to feel as though your dreams are already realized, even when the world around you has not yet caught up. It is a patience born of faith, the faith that your desire is already yours, and it is simply a matter of time before the world reflects that reality. In conclusion, persistence is the force that makes your desires flesh. By maintaining unwavering faith in your assumptions, by continuing to feel as though your desires are already fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the natural laws of creation. The universe does not respond to fleeting desires or wishes. It responds to persistent, unwavering belief. As you persist, you are not just waiting for your desires to manifest, you are actively creating the conditions for them to appear. Keep going, keep assuming, keep feeling. Your persistence will make your dreams tangible. It will bring your desires into the realm of physical reality.